You are standing in line. Your phone is in your pocket. 10 seconds pass. Your hand is already moving toward it. You call this boredom. You treat it like an itch, something to kill as fast as possible. But the real answer is far stranger. Boredom is not a malfunction. It is one of the most important tools your brain has ever built. And you have spent the last decade training yourself to never feel it again. Think about the last time you were truly, completely bored. No phone, no music, no task, just you and your own mind. Can you remember it? For most people alive today, the honest answer is no. In 2014, psychologist Timothy Wilson ran an experiment that sounds almost like a joke. He put people alone in a room with nothing to do but think. No phone, no book, just a chair and their own thoughts for 15 minutes. Many said it was unpleasant. So unpleasant, in fact, that when Wilson gave them the option to give themselves a mild electric shock instead of sitting with their thoughts, a large number of people chose the shock. Some shocked themselves more than once. They would rather feel pain than feel nothing. That should stop you for a second. Why would a mind run from silence like that? Because your brain was never built for silence. For nearly all of human history, boredom did not mean an empty room. It meant an empty savanna, a long walk, hours of watching a herd from a distance with nothing happening. And in those long, dull stretches, something important was happening anyway. Your mind was wandering. Psychologist Sandi Mann has spent years studying exactly this. Her research found that boredom does not shut the brain down. It switches it into a different mode. When there is nothing urgent to focus on, the mind starts drifting into what researchers call the default mode network. This is the same mental state active during daydreaming. And in Mann's studies, people who were deliberately bored before a creative task performed better on it than people who went straight into the task without any dull stretch first. Boring them first made them more inventive after. That is the part your ancestors had that you have quietly given away. Boredom was not empty time. It was incubation time. It was the space where a half-formed idea finally connected to another one, where a problem you could not solve at your desk suddenly solved itself while you were staring at nothing. Now ask yourself what you do the moment that empty space opens up. A red notification, a short video, a feed that refreshes forever and never actually ends. Researcher John Eastwood, who studies boredom at York University, describes it as a signal, not a flaw. He argues boredom is your mind telling you that what you are doing right now is not engaging your attention or your values. It is not a call to distract yourself. It is a call to redirect yourself toward something that actually matters to you. But redirecting takes effort. Scrolling takes none. So the signal fires, and instead of listening to it, you silence it in under a second. Every single time. Here is the strange part. The device in your pocket is not just filling boredom. It is preventing you from ever fully feeling it in the first place, which means it is quietly deleting the exact mental state your brain uses to generate its best ideas. Journalist Manoush Zomorodi tested this directly with thousands of listeners in a project she called Bored and Brilliant. She asked people to simply put their phones down during small, dead moments in their day, waiting in line, riding the elevator, standing at the sink. Nothing dramatic, just letting boredom actually happen instead of reflexively erasing it. The people who did it reported something almost embarrassing in its simplicity. Ideas came back, not through effort, through absence. So what if boredom was never the enemy? What if it was the quiet machinery behind almost everything you have ever figured out for yourself, running in the background, waiting for you to stop interrupting it? Somewhere between an empty savanna and an endless feed, humans lost the ability to sit still with nothing. Not because the mind changed. The mind is the same one that carried your ancestors through 1,000 quiet, uneventful afternoons. What changed is that boredom finally has a competitor. And for now, the competitor is winning. You are standing in line again. Your phone is in your pocket. This time, your hand does not move. 10 seconds pass, then 30. And somewhere in that stillness, your mind finally has the room to do what it was built to do all along.